Technically late morning into the early afternoon here very shortly. I'm meteorologist Matt Standridge. We got meteorologist Zach Scott here. We've got a chance for severe weather, at least this brief period, and we actually have a severe storm right now. We've been tracking this line of storms for here the past couple of hours. It's gotten a little bit bigger, a lot more lightning. That's one thing we've noticed is a big uptick in the lightning, and we've got a pretty good storm, Zach, coming from Paris, headed right towards Clarksville right now.
Yeah, these storms have pulsed up pretty quick. This is our main line of storms, and I know we've got a few back here to the west in parts of northwestern Franklin County and then back towards Crawford. Our front's still back towards the west, but these storms, they've pulsed up pretty quick. Really in the last hour, we had these couple of storms pop up in Franklin, Johnson, and then south of that, within 30 minutes or so, you can get these other smaller cells to pop up. They're not really competing with a lot of other thunderstorms. A warm, unstable atmosphere in place. The cap that we had this morning, that's gone now.
Yeah, it feels like storms out there. When you're outside, you guys know it's been very windy, it's warm, it's humid, so we got the storm risk. However, this is probably going to be our main line like you've been talking about, and we're going to dive into that a little bit later too. There could be some scattered little storms every once in a while behind this main line, but this is it, and we've got our severe thunderstorm right now. In fact, we've got our very own meteorologist, Stephen Abshire. Stephen, if you can hear us, where are you right now? You got Drive 5. Where are you, and what are you seeing?
Yeah, Matt, so we are just getting through downtown Clarksville now. We're going to head a little bit north here to try to get into more of the cell that's going to be moving through Clarksville probably in the next couple of minutes. We're already seeing some of that rain, but probably going to see a little bit of hail embedded in the system. But what we've seen so far driving through the River Valley and through northwest Arkansas today is mainly just a lot of light scattered showers. They've been very scattered, just small little storms here or there. But you know, we're starting to see things become a little bit more dominant in terms of larger cells moving into the area. And this is the first one that we've had that severe thunderstorm warning so far. So in terms of what we're seeing out here right now, this is kind of the worst of the cells that have developed so far today. But we're going to be continuing to track this one as we go throughout the rest of the next couple of hours before the noon show and then a little bit afterwards. But here in downtown Clarksville, things have definitely been about to pick up. We're seeing a little bit of hail on radar, not seeing it in person just yet, but we're gonna continue to track this storm as we move a little bit towards the north here in a minute.
Okay, and again, Matt, I know you're over there as well. Looking at that hail core, it would be coming in on the west side of town right now. So maybe crossing over I-40, actually, that hail core. So if it is producing some small hail up to the size of quarters, that's going to be coming in on the west side, southwest side of Clarksville as we speak. We'll zoom in a little bit closer here. Again, this is the strongest storm that we had. And again, Matt mentioned this a couple minutes ago as well, that we've seen the lightning tick up here in just the last hour or so. And that's an indicator that we always look for. Just because we see reds and yellows on the screen, they're sometimes just generic thunderstorms. But when we start to see that lightning really start to tick up, we know these storms are increasing. We start looking then for the hail cores to start pulsing up. And then again, we'll start to look to see if these storms are rotating a little bit. There's certainly going to be a greater chance for these storms to start rotating more as they start moving to the east of us. But this is the best chance for strong to severe storms. We've been talking about it all week. Late morning, right around lunchtime, we're going to have some of these scattered thunderstorm rounds around our area. Not everyone's going to see storms. Not everyone's going to see severe weather. This is the best chance for it. Again, a little bit closer look here. Johnson County, Clarksville, you can see it right there. A little bit more of a pink showing up just on the southwest side of Clarksville. So that's going to be coming in to Clarksville right now, potential for quarter-size hail. And this storm is racing off towards the northeast around 70 miles per hour. It's so fast that we even need to update the little time here, see if we can do that. I'm going to redraw this out for you real quick, and we'll get a better scale. Again, this is moving 70 miles per hour, so likely by the time that the next update comes out, will already be outdated here. Going to spread it off to the northeast. Again, it's going to be moving out of Johnson County very quickly here. Jamestown, 1136. Holman, 1144. Bullfrog Valley, 1149. Dillon, 1157. And then Chancel, almost thought that was Chancel, the exclamation point. Chancel there around noon. Again, moving out very quickly. Potential for quarter-size hail coming into Clarksville and Johnson County, crossing the Arkansas River as we speak. All right, let's see if we can get maybe the hail core to pop up on here. Let's see if we can do that for us real quick. We'll go to the hail core right here and see if we can get that to pop up. We'll put it in play. Sometimes the hail core is a little bit delayed, so it takes a scan or two for it to show up. but right now we're not really seeing a whole lot. So, but there's likely still some small hail in there. Again, zooming out here, big picture, if you got friends, you got family in central and eastern Arkansas, the storm threat is building right now, and it's about to get going. There's likely going to be a tornado watch issued for central, eastern Arkansas into parts of Mississippi, Tennessee. Again, the front is just out towards the west, very dry air on the backside. So that's why you're not seeing as much cloud cover. But this is going to continue to race off towards the east, and you can even see just ahead of the front right there a few isolated thunderstorms. We're probably going to see a few isolated lingering showers ahead of the front. The front's so strong, there's so much instability, and there's still plenty of moisture just ahead of the front that it's going to provide enough forcing, and it's going to give that extra little lift that we could see a few stragglers here as the front comes in mid-afternoon or so. But this is the best chance for some of these scattered showers and thunderstorms. Again, closer look here. I want to come back in. We are tracking that thunderstorm moving over Clarksville, possibility of some quarter-size hail. If it is hailing, it's going to be right now in the Clarksville area. Are you seeing anything on the through Abshire's picture there?
Yeah, can we go ahead and we'll toss to him, let him talk for a second.
Okay.
Hey, meteorologist Stephen Abshire, if you can hear us, let us know where you are again, what you're seeing. What's it like being out there in that storm right now?
Yeah, so we kind of just moved through downtown Clarksville where we're seeing some very heavy rain and maybe even some small hail embedded in there. It might have been just a little bit behind us. So now we've turned towards the north on Arkansas State Road 21, heading north of Clarksville, where we're going to try to see if we can get into some of that heavier rain once again. But this storm is just absolutely cruising. We started tracking this storm when we were near Fort Smith, and it was barely crossing over the state line at that point. And like you guys have said, these storms are moving 65, even 70 miles an hour at times. So they're very short-lived, but they're packing a bit of a punch, especially this one moving through Clarksville right now. So we're trying to get back into it. I think that the heaviest rain and some of that hail is maybe just a little bit farther north. You can see some of these kind of menacing clouds up ahead of us, but that's where we're trying to see a lot of the showers and storms. But as we move throughout the rest of the morning into the start of the afternoon, this might be the last of the real severe stuff moving our way. A lot of eastern Arkansas and central Arkansas has got a lot to worry about as they move into the afternoon, but I think that we've dodged a pretty good bullet in terms of the rotation of thunderstorms here this morning, mainly just dealing with some heavy rain at times, and here in Clarksville and parts of Johnson County just dealing with some strong winds and some embedded hail. So as we move over the next few hours, and we should be seeing some clearer skies on the way, but for now just dealing with some heavy rain, some hail, and some strong winds moving through Johnson County here.
Too. I want to show you a live look outside in Ozark, where we're looking at some of those severe storms that are off towards the west right now. You can see the camera shaking there a little bit and a few more ripples in the Arkansas River just because the wind is so crazy. Everyone's going to get the wind, but not everyone will get the storms. I want to take you back to Max Doppler 5, where we still have that severe thunderstorm warning for Paris going to Clarksville. However, the severe threat for Paris has now ended. This is mainly for Clarksville. If we zoom in a little bit closer too, very heavy rain on all sides of town. And then you head north toward the Strawberry Bluffs. We've got a lot of that heavy rain too. Kind of skimming us in Knoxville and Lamar. Most of this is past the high school and headed towards Clarksville past the airport. Here's a closer look at just the hail itself. We're trying to track it. It's very on the low side right now, but anywhere you see that gray color, we've got some up to about pea-sized hail, and it's coming right into downtown. In fact, we got a new scan. We got a little bit of hail trying to mix in with some of the rain. I tell you what, sometimes the hail is about the same size as the raindrop right now, so it gets tough to see. But we do have some of that hail coming, especially towards the west side of Clarksville, and this will continue to move north and east up towards the mountains. But if you live in Coal Hill, back west towards Paris or Shoal Creek, Scranton, we're looking a lot better now. The core of the storm is just over Clarksville and will continue to push north and east. We may get kind of skimmed there towards the Piney Bay campground area, but most of this is going to be from downtown Clarksville off towards the north, towards those Strawberry Bluffs. You live in towards the east, once you get into Pope and Yells counties. Right now we're just watching some rain, but we're going to be watching this storm. Here's a little bit closer look at some of that hail. It looks like it's just crossing over 64, headed north of Spadra. This is going to be coming into downtown Clarksville, especially on the west side of downtown Clarksville here in just a moment. And then maybe towards Woodland, you may get a little bit of this hail as well. Zach, what do you got?
Again, we're just looking at those storms moving east. it may have actually, if it did have quarter-size hail in, it may have dropped it just on the southwest side. Again, these storms, they pulse up and down all the time. That's what we're used to watching, and that's what we're used to expecting from these thunderstorms as they move across our area every time. They're going to pulse up and down. They'll build up those hail cores, then they'll drop them. But along the lines of what meteorologist Stephen Abshire said, he's down there with this storm in Clarksville. Again, we're dodging what could be potentially a bigger bullet here to the east of us. We're still getting a few thunderstorms. We're getting some gusty winds. Some of you are seeing some small hail in parts of Logan and Johnson counties right now. But overall, the setup for us to the east is looking pretty daunting here as we go deeper into the day for our neighbors in central and eastern Arkansas. But that's what we talk about too. It's that peak daytime heating, that time frame when you talk about severe weather threats in March, April, and May, and you start focusing in late afternoon into the early evening hours. That's when you build that instability all day long. They've got dew points easily into the 60s. That's fuel, that's gasoline for these storms. We've got some turning of the winds. We have the wind shear, the ingredients are there. So again, this is likely the best chance for any severe weather in our area with this batch that's been pushing through Scott, Logan, and Johnson counties. So we're going to continue to watch this off towards the east. We're still focused on this storm in Johnson County. We're not moving on until it moves out. And Chief Meteorologist Matt Standridge is going to have another update for us here. Matt, you're continuing to look deeper into this storm. What are you seeing?
Yeah, this storm, just like we were talking about with the hail, it's gotten smaller over time. Just coming in, the National Weather Service has just canceled this warning for southern Johnson County and northern Logan County. This storm is no longer severe. There for a second, it was trying to beef up with some hail going in from Scranton and then towards Clarksville. You could still get some very small hail. You hear it outside, but it's not the damaging type. So this yellow box you see will go away here in just a moment. But we will continue to watch storms for the next couple of hours because we still have that severe threat overall. If we go and zoom out just a little bit, like we've been talking about, this is kind of the main wave of storms. And notice how it's already in the eastern part of 5 country in our viewing area. Once this line progresses more into central Arkansas, it's going to get really beefed up. In fact, here in a short amount of time, I don't know if it's going to be before the noon hour or right after the noon hour, the National Weather Service will be releasing a tornado watch across central and eastern Arkansas. We don't know exactly what counties will be included, but best guess would be from Conway and Little Rock all the way east to Jonesboro. And then on the outsides of that, we're not actually sure how they're going to shift that, but we'll let you know when that watch will be officially issued. But that mostly is east of us because the better environment is now east. As this boundary comes in, this is the one that's going to get nasty as it moves off towards the east. And then towards the north right now, it's been windy. We've had some downpours on and off in northwest Arkansas. We have some little pop-ups there in Madison County. This is after the main boundary is pushing on through. And we could have more of these for the next couple of hours. We could have some in Fort Smith. We could have some in northwest Arkansas. But right now, it looks like this is the main line of severe weather. And it's going to move east. And then we've got a much bigger threat coming up for us for central eastern Arkansas. In fact, there's a chance that the Storm Prediction Center even upgrades the severe threat later this evening to the highest threat level there in the east. That will not be for us, but it will be towards our friends and neighbors and east into eastern Arkansas. And then severe weather goes all the way north to Chicago, north to Madison, Wisconsin. This is a big storm. We're right on the tail end of things. The front is still coming through Oklahoma right now, but we're on the very southern end of this whole system. So we're getting kind of skirted by some of the severe weather. We've had a little bit of hail in Logan County and Johnson County. We hope that's really the most of it that we get for today, but we'll continue to watch these storms, still a developing situation. Coming up here in just a few minutes, we're going to have our 5 News at noon. We've got more updates from Tiffany with the news, and then we'll continue to watch the severe potential for the next couple of hours. But we'll see. Our window is very short. We're already about halfway through the window to watch severe weather. We'll continue to track those. Make sure you keep it local, keep it here. And as always, we'll keep you advised.